वन्दे वन्द्यं सदानन्दं वासुदेवं निरञ्जनम् इन्दिरापतिमाद्यादि वरदेशवरप्रदम् नमामि निखिलाधीश किरीटाघृष्टपीठवत् हृत्तमहाशमनेर्काभं श्रीपतेः पादपङ्कजम्
Greetings to all. Welcome you to Know Our Guru series on Sri Madhvacharya, chief proponent of Dvaita Vedanta. Avatar. Sri Madhvacharya is believed to be an avatar of Vayudev. प्रथमो हनुमान नाम द्वितीयो भीम एव च पूर्णप्रज्ञ तृतीयस्तु भगवत कार्य साधका. Means in Treta Yuga, when Lord took avatar as Ram, Vayudev took avatar as Hanuman. In Dwapara Yuga, when Lord took avatar as Krishna, Vayudev took avatar as Bhimsen. In Kali Yuga, when Lord took avatar as Vedvyasa, Vayudev took the avatar as Madhvacharya. So Madhvacharya is an avatar of Vayudev. Birth. Sri Madhvacharya was born near Udupi, Belle, a small village, in 1238 to Nadilla Bhatta and Vetavati, a poor and pious couple. Sri Madhva was named Vasudeva on birth by his parents. He was a child prodigy. Early life. He started to Udupi, the nearby big town, to seek the blessings of Achyuta Prajna, a Swamiji there who was in Udupi. And Sri Madhva prostrated before Sri Achyuta Prajna, seeking Diksha from him. The Guru was initially very reluctant and at last had to oblige because of the child's persistence and conviction. When Madhva's father came to know about this, he begged him, touching his feet. But Purna Prajna, as Madhva was called in the mud, said, a father salutes a son only when he becomes a yati. Permission was predestined by Sri Hari and promised he will be blessed with another son. Only later he took up sannyasa. For sure, the father had to agree and return home. And miraculously, after an year, a son was born and Vasudeva was anointed as Purna Bodha. meeting Vedavyasa. At the age of 16, Sri Madhva decided he has to propagate his thoughts. He sought his guru's permission to go on a pilgrimage tour. He also presented his guru his commentary on Gita. So, having seen the conviction and the knowledge of his disciple, the guru has to oblige. So, Purna Prajna toured till Himalayas, where he met Vedvyasa, showed his commentary on Gita. He was asked by Vedvyasa himself to write on Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam also. The task was also completed successfully. Madhva is a man of sweet words and talk. Is now happily returned to Udupi with the blessings of none other than Sri Vedvyasa himself. His guru was proud to have such a Sishya. Udupi Krishna. When Srimad Ananta Tirtha, as Madhva was called, was meditating at what is now being called as Malpe beach near Udupi, a ship was in distress in the sea. It came to his attention. He waved his upper garment, causing the fearsome winds and angry seas to subside. Because he himself, remember, he himself is an avatar of Vayudeva himself. This enabled the ship to reach the shore safely with cargo and crew intact. The grateful captain of the ship, realizing the depth of gratitude he owed to Acharya, offered him gifts. However, Acharya refused those gifts of wealth, but asked for a large amount of Gopi Chandana that had served as a part of the ship's ballast. Miraculously, the mound, the Gopi Chandana mound, contained the long concealed icon of Sri Krishna, which in Dwapara Yuga has been worshipped by his own consort Rukmini Devi herself. This icon was carried to Udupi and installed by Sri Madhvacharya himself, and the Dwadasha Stotras were composed by him on this occasion, the very famous Dwadasha Stotras. The idol has been installed in a small temple with all rituals done under the leadership of his brother. Then Udupi became a temple town, although earlier there were a couple of temples like Anantishwara and Chandramaulishwara temples. Having this Krishna temple made Udupi a temple town. Teachings and disciples. Soon Madhva was called Ananta Tirtha, since anyone who came to his fold was happy. His teachings were practical way of karma yoga. He would say, do your ordained duty and leave the result to God. You will enjoy the life here and after this life. What a simple and effective preaching. Soon, many scholars who would come to Udupi to refute and argue with him. They became his disciples. He organized puja at the Udupi temple regularly and gave Diksha to 8 boys as sannyasins. They were supposed to worship Krishna 5 times a day from 3:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Works of Madhvacharya. Sri Madhva composed 37 books on Tattvavada. Tattvavada is also known as Dvaita Vedanta. His explanation of Vedic thoughts are applicable even today. He appointed 8 yattis to worship Lord Krishna in Udupi and ordained 4 disciples to propagate his Tattvavada or Dvaita Vedanta. Sri Padmanabha Tirtha, Narahari Tirtha, Akshobhya Tirtha and Madhva Tirtha. These are the 4 disciples ordained by him to propagate Dvaita Vedanta. Left to Himalayas. Each one of them sent to different directions to preach Bhakti Vedanta. After assigning all the responsibilities to his scholarly disciples, he left to Badari in Himalayas to be with Sri Vedvyasa in the year 1317. That day has been and still is being celebrated as Madhva Navami all over the world with great devotion. The life sketch of Sri Madhva can be read in Sumadhva Vijaya, authored by his junior contemporary Sri Narayana Pandita Charya, the son of Trivikrama Panditacharya. And this is considered to be the most authentic work on Madhvacharya now. Sumadhva Vijaya by Sri Narayana Panditacharya. So as I used to say, these gurus lived a purposeful life of many years. They have been our guiding light for generations. The aim of this series is to raise an awakening to go in depth and read them in full, which are in plenty. Sripada Raja Pelida Madhvanama, Santapa Kelida Kila Saukya Van Ivudu, Sripati Sri Jagannatha Vittalana Toribhava, Kupara Dinda Kadekha Ishudu. This Madhvanama, told by Sripada Raja, will destroy all sorrows, provide all types of happiness and well-being, and in addition, will show you Sripati Jagannatha Vittala and take you out of this ocean called samsara. ఎంతరో మహానుభావుడు అంతరికి వంతనం.
विदेशेषु मान्यः स्वदेशेषु धन्यः सदाचारवृत्तेषु मत्तो न चान्यः मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम्.